Hello everybody, and welcome back to part 4 of creating a simulator game in Roblox Studio. Today we're going to add in Rebirths to the game. But before we do that, I want to fix something that I didn't do last episode, which was making this upgrade price actually display the price. In order to do that, we're going to go into Screen GUI, into Upgrade button, and into the script. And we're going to create we're going to put right here weight 1 or 0.5, and this will make sure that everything is loaded in before we do any codes. And now we're going to actually make it so that upgrade button is set to the price. So the first thing that I actually want to do is copy and paste this right here, and this will give us the leader stats variable everywhere, and also we don't need this anymore. But this will allow us to actually get the leader stats variable here and not just here. Because when it was in here, it only allowed us to get the leader stats variable inside of here. So I moved it. Alright, let's actually do this now. So what I'm going to do is script.parent.text equals, so we're going to change the text to, and in quotes, upgrade :space, and this will be the text. This will be the text, and then we're gonna put leader stats dot money, or not money, dot upgrade price dot value. And so what this will do is you'll see. So something that whenever you join the game, or whenever you load in your game, if you ever see this error, this "you must publish to place the web to access data store," all you have to do is just hit the stop button, then just hit publish to Roblox, and you can, when you're publishing, you can overwrite a previous game. And so I'm just going to overwrite my previous save of this game. And now we're not going to get the error, although we got a different error this time. We got upgrade price is not a valid member of folder. I don't quite know why I got that. So you can see that upgrade price is clearly a valid member of the folder. I might have to put an extra weight, though. I think that might be it. Let's see if adding a weight 1 helps, because it might just take a while to load. Alright, it appears to have helped. And you can see now the upgrade fits with our upgrade price. The only issue is that when we actually do upgrade, as you can see we upgraded it, we don't actually get an update. So to do that, it's really simple. All we have to do is just copy this and paste it in here. And this will make it so that every time we get an upgrade, it changes the displayed upgrade price. We got this error again. I mean, we'll just try what we did last time. Maybe that'll help. Alright, it worked. And actually, instead of doing that weight, I think I know a better way to do it. I'll do like a weight 0.5, but I'm going to use something called weight for child. And I'm going to put parentheses around here in quotation marks. Let's see if this works. And what wait for child does is it's supposed to wait until something loads. And it looks like it did work. So that is how we display the amount of upgrades that we have. Alright. Or not the upgrades, the price of the upgrades. So now let's actually get working on the rebirths. To start off, we're just going to copy this and paste it and then change all of the upgrades to Rebirths. And you can actually do something. When you hit Control F, you'll see this find thing, and then we can put find upgrades, and we can do replace Rebirths. Alright, so you can see it's right here, but we can replace. Oops, I made a typo. Make sure you don't make a typo. And now you can see we have this selected, and then we can just click that, and it automatically changes it to Rebirths for us. Now the one thing to be careful about is that you can see, so normally this is supposed to be capital upgrades, but it changed it to lowercase because that's what we put here, so we have to change it back to capital. And since we put an S after the upgrade, and this didn't have an S after it, it won't show as it had. It won't change. Alright. We also need to do it with this too, so we're just gonna paste this and do the exact same thing again. So we're just gonna do that. Although remember, these ones, I forgot to change it so that there's not an S after here, so it didn't see these. So now we have it completely changed, and you can see if we join the game, it will be there. But you can see Rebirth price isn't being listed, and that's because there's not enough space. And so now I've been using this leaderboard in order to see the variables easily, but now we're not actually going to use the leaderboard anymore, and instead we're going to be displaying those numbers through GUI like this. And that's the reason why we're doing that is because when you're on mobile, it's difficult to see the leaderboards. You have to go through a bunch of different things. So I'm just going to change this to player stats, and you'll see the leaderboards will now be no more. It doesn't exist anymore. The one issue that you'll see though is that there's a bunch of, we'll get errors whenever we do a lot of things, and that's because a lot of things haven't been updated with the new thing. Like if we click right here, we'll get an error, so we'll have to change this. And if we go into starter GUI right here, we're just gonna edit things in screen GUI now. That's basically what I'm gonna do. So we have right in here, we're gonna change here, right, this thing to player stats, and this right here also to player stats. And don't change it while you're testing, because if you are testing, then it's not going to show you this starter GUI stuff, but it's actually going to show you your own player's GUI, because a copy of this is made every time someone joins, and it's given to that player, but it's not the actual thing that you'd be editing. I believe that this should be, I think we might need, okay. We'll also need to edit coin, I think, right in here, because there's also the use of leader stats in here. But now, it should be completely edited to be fitting with player stats. Now let's actually get onto the rebirths. I'm going to start off by doing what we did with upgrades and duplicating this. Duplicating that in there. And we're going to move it right here. In fact, we're actually going to set it to I'm going to set it to exactly 0.2. And I'll set this one to like right Um, I'll probably make it even later, but for now we'll just do this. Okay, now we're going to select this one, and we're going to start off by just renaming it to Rebirth Button. Next, we're going to edit the script. We're going to start off by changing this to Rebirth, and then we're going to put Rebirth Price. And one of the things I'm going to do is in here, when we're selecting this button, we're going to change the text to also be Rebirth Price. Alright, now we're going to change some other things. Now, I want to base Rebirths off of how many upgrades you have, not how much money you have. So I'm going to change this to upgrades dot value and change this to Rebirth Price, which means that it'll be checking the amount of upgrades, not the amount of money. We're also going to change this to upgrades, this to upgrades, and actually, wait, we're not going to do this. We're actually going to set upgrades to 0, because if you've done simulator games before, you'll know that when you rebirth, you restart. You don't just pay a certain amount, you restart. So it's going to set it to 0. But we also need to set leader stats we also need to set the price of upgrade to 0. So we need to leader stats dot upgrades price dot value equals 0. Or not 0, but actually 20, I believe. Yeah, 20. And increase, this is the old increase, but we're actually going to change it. We're going to do, I'm actually planning on just making it so that every time you rebirth, it just increases the amount of upgrades needed to rebirth by 10. Okay, now here in this part, we need to make it so that it changes rebirth price. So we're going to do rebirth price dot value plus increase, and we're going to do right here rebirth dot value. Oops, that's an extra S. And then we're going to change this also to rebirths and change the text to rebirth on rebirths price. Let's see. We might get an error for this, but I don't think we should. You can see we have 20. And you can see we don't actually have any way to see the amount of money and upgrades that we have. We'll need to add that next video. But for now, I'm just going to go into Explorer and to the player and player stats, and then just looking through here. So we have 20 upgrades. That's good. So now we should be able to rebirth. Oops, some error happened. Rebirth price, and that we actually did rebirth price. We didn't do rebirth price. So now if we go back, I think it still actually did rebirth for us. I don't know. Wait, hold on. Okay, there we go. It worked. So rebirth now costs 30 upgrades. You can see here's an issue though. The upgrades didn't actually go. The amount of upgrades, it didn't actually go, or not the upgrade, but the upgrade price that's displayed didn't change. So we need to make it so that this actually updates. So for that, since we know that it's always going to be set to 20, we're just going to do script.parent or upgrade button dot text equals, and then we're just going to change it to upgrade 0, or not 20, because that's what we know it's going to be set to. So now we have the actual rebirths done, but the rebirths don't do anything. So we need to go into clicker button for that. And I plan on making it so that every time you get a rebirth, increases the amount of money that you get by 50%. So what we're going to do is right in here, I'm going to add parentheses around this entire thing. And then I'm going to do times, and then I'm going to do 0. It's going to give you a 0 or 50% bonus for every single rebirth that you have. So we're going to do 1.5 to the power of, which is this. It's Shift 6 to do that symbol. And then leader stats dot rebirths dot, and I think it's actually capitalized, dot value. And then, yeah, this should work. And now I believe that it should give us a bonus if we're, so we have 0 upgrades, I think. So let's just look in here that we get a better display. So we have in our rebirths, we have 0 still. So must have not saved, but we have in our upgrade price, it costs 2,000 and it's 20. So I think one of the things that happened was in data store. Yeah, leader stats is not. I don't know how I didn't see that, but yeah. And I'm gonna make local leader stats equals. Actually no, that wouldn't work. So we're gonna do right here. We're gonna make a variable like all of the other times, and local leader stats equals player dot player stats. And then we're just gonna quickly. Oh wait, hold on. So the reason why that we were getting that error was because we forgot to upgrade. We forgot to update that. So now all I'm going to do is we're actually going to do the Control F again. And we're going to do player dot. And then we're going to replace that with nothing. So let's see if it works. Yep, it worked. And make sure only to replace these parts. Alright, there we go. Now it should work, and we'll actually be able to see if our rebirth system works. So I believe that we have enough upgrades, and you can see it reset. But the real question for me is, will our money go up the right amount? So since we have 0 upgrades, it should normally go up 1, but we should get 0.5. But since this is an integer value, it won't give us a 1.5. It won't show that we got 1.5, but it rounds up, so you can see we got 2. But I think that the game actually only gave us 1.5, although I think the game's actually rounding every time, so we're actually gaining 1.5. We're gaining 2 every time. So basically what happened there was, the game was giving us 1.5, but since this is an integer value, it rounded that up because it has to be an integer, it has to be a full number. So it rounded 1.5 to 2. So in order to fix that, all we have to do is literally just change this to number value. And now, you'll see, I believe it should work now. 500, 501, 502. I think our rebirths might have not saved. Our rebirths didn't save. Okay, let's see why. Let's wait for it to close. I don't know why it's taking so long to close. So you can see our rebirths for some reason didn't save. That's because for some reason I put rebirth price instead of rebirths. Anyways, let's see if it actually works this time. We won't have any rebirths, And so I'm just gonna cheat to make us have rebirths by just changing rebirths to 1 through server sides. And now if we look at our money, you can see it's going up by 1.5 instead of just 1 because we got a rebirth. So yes, thank you for watching. I hope this helped. This was a longer video, but yeah. Next video, we're going to work on actually making displays for rebirths, for upgrades, and for money. And yeah, thank you for watching, and bye.